so excited.
Me too. Hey guys, this is your girl Chrissy Speaks, and I am here with the beautiful and talented Precious Gibson, author of the debut novel In the Wicked We Trust. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Oh, well, thank you. I am good too. I'm glad to have you. So now, before we get into your shady characters, I wanted to talk. I want to talk about your background. Now, I did read that you developed your love for literature in elementary school, and that's when you started to kind of get your imagination with writing. So were there any specific like genres of books that stood out to you when you were younger, like fantasy, fiction, epic, comedy?
I would like to read everything, to be honest with you. I remember one situation, I was fourth or fifth grade, and we got to write, and they were like, write whatever. And that was my favorite time of the day. You can just write whatever. And I wrote a story about a young girl, and she was bullied and she committed suicide. And so basically it was like a big deal. They called a social worker, they called my mom to the school, like they interrogated us for hours. And they just couldn't understand, like how can she how can she be so young and writing something like that? So I like all genres from like a young age. Anything, I'll read anything, just about, honestly.
Now, were there any favorite books of yours growing up? Like I remember I was into Sister Soldier, Coldest Winter Ever, Fly Girl by Omar Tyree, Be More Careful, and then Push, books like that. Like what did you read growing up?
Everything you just named.
The hood book.
Coldest Winter Ever. I don't know how many times I read Coldest Winter Ever. Like
and Push. And Push too.
I love that book. I love Fly Girl. Let That Be the Reason was another good one. Girl, my mama had a bookshelf full of just Black books. So I just used to pick on them like as I go. So everything you just named, I think every little Black girl that read all the Fly Girl and Coldest Winter Ever.
They were selling the books on the street at the corner of Lincoln Avenue on 125th Street. And that was a good time. Now, you later transitioned into writing for a lot of entertainment blogs that we're all familiar with, like Hip Hop Weekly, like Baller Alert. When you were writing, and that's when you expanded in your writing, did you ever write about like current events and famous people that helped inspire any present or future characters?
No, not really. But what it did help me become just a stronger writer, because like you'll have writer's block, but you're forced to write every day because it's your job. I have my assignments with Hip Hop Weekly, Baller Alert, so I was forced to write every day. So none of the celebs really inspired any of my characters, but I do think writing for blogs, it helped me get out of my writer's block. And it just helped me become a stronger writer in general, because, you're forced to do it every single day. So
this book is good. Okay, now, some of my favorite main characters are, of course, Kenya, Tiara, Chris, and Crystal. Now, I'm just going to speak it into existence. If this book, or when this book becomes on film, or it's actually produced for camera, if you could pick any celebrity or any actor to play any of those characters, who would you pick and why? I'm gonna start with one, because I was thinking about this.
You go.
Kenya is JT. Kenya is either JT or Cash Doll. Kenya is JT or Cash Doll. Now I know I didn't mention Carmelo, but Carmelo, when I read about him, although you describe him as a dark-skinned man, he's Slim Thug. He is totally Slim Thug.
He is Slim Thug.
So, oh my God. I was like, Kenya said he scooped her up in the bed. Now that's Slim Thug.
That girl, I didn't even think about Slim Thug. And Slim Thug fine as hell. Yeah.
Kenya. So Kenya's either JT or Cash Doll. Crystal, I don't know. I say Tiara. Tiara gives me Alicia Keys.
It would have to be Tiara is kind of sweet.
She is.
So
she is.
I would say she's like a Zendaya or what is that other young? It's like another younger girl. I can't think of her name, but it has to be somebody who can get into like a really sweet place because she's very, very naive and sweet. Yeah. But Kenya, JT, Dreezy, Cash Doll would be good. I can definitely see JT. I would love to see JT.
Now, I feel like Chris, although to me, he comes off as the baby, but I think Chris is handsome. The baby's handsome too. But but Chris is I don't know. Chris.
I would want Coffee. I can't pronounce his last name. Kofi.
I know exactly who you talking about.
You know what?
I know. Yes, I know who you talk about. Okay, I know exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna put that in. I know exactly who you talk about. Ooh,
I would like Trevante Rhodes as Chris. Kofi or Trevante Rhodes, either or.
This is the second.
Yes. So we got Slim Thug, Trevante or Coffee. Yeah, I think. Yes.
Tiara's Alicia or maybe
it would have to be younger. Like I would want, and I love Alicia Keys. I would want like the younger girls. So JT, Zendaya, I think she could be sweet enough.
Yeah,
she gives me that. But it would be the best of both worlds. Like,
oh my God, I'm telling you. Now, when you are around your close family and your friends, do they ever get a little bit nervous that you are going to write books about them or inspire characters about their lives or about their personalities?
I think so, because they be like, "So, what you working on over here?"
Yes, sis. Don't tell my business.
They be like, "Oh, you writing something new?" I'm like, it's not about you.
About you, boo-boo. Keep it cute.
No, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, right. Okay. Now, so I read this book from front to back. It's great. Now, if you can you tell us a little bit about the book? Very, very short, brief recap without telling too much.
Okay. I think, overall, the book is really about, Tiara and Kenya and their very complicated friendship. I think people are going to see a very toxic friendship that should have ended years ago because they're just on two very different paths. Kenya is not that friend that's happy for anybody. She only happy for herself. So that's why I say the friendship should have ended years ago. But a lot of toxic relationships in that book, actually, not just one. And I think overall, like after you read that book, you should really be inspired to like let people go. And I said that in my visual synopsis, like if it doesn't inspire you to do anything else, it should inspire you to really cut off toxic people, because as you can see, this is what happens when relationships and situations just run past their end date.
Yeah,
it's chaos. So I think any reader will see a lot of toxic relationships, horrible friendships, horrible. Just picking the wrong men. It's just bad.
All right, that's enough. They gotta read it if they want to know too much. Now, what I noticed in the book is a lot of the women are honestly, they're pretty young. Most of the cast, Crystal, Tiara, and Kenya, are all under 30 years old. So I do feel like there's still a lot more maturing that needs to happen. But I love that you highlight the importance of friendship amongst Black women. You even are very descriptive in their complexions, dark skin, light skin, curvy. You describe it so well. So I do feel like each character is so relatable. And that's I really enjoyed that. Now, one thing that I did find very interesting was Kenya and Tiara's personalities. So you have Kenya, who is described as a beautiful, confident, dark-skinned woman. She dresses fly all the time. She has money. She dates men with money. But there is a part where you talk about depression that I thought was so important, when Kenya did not graduate, when Kenya learned that, she's sleeping with her best friend's man, who still continues to be with him They get married, they move, and then Kenya starts to slowly get into prostitution. Then you have Tiara's personality, who learns her best friend sleeps with her man. She still continues to be with him. They get married, they move, and then she talks about having challenges within the first 2 years of their marriage, and then finds out that Chris is continuing to still cheat, and then he has the audacity to try to separate from her, which causes her to actually talk about depression too, especially when she tried to knock him out in that chapter before the neighbors called the cops on her. So I was just like, you know, you really do touch on a lot of emotions. You have revenge, you have jealousy, you have love, you have separation, you have death.
Everything.
Did you do this though on purpose? Because as a reader, I was just like,
everything. Yes, because that is real life. I mean, it may not get extreme to, you know, death or anything, but that's exactly what you would go through. That's exactly how you would feel if you don't graduate college. Like, and you go through college, you know, you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing, but the feeling that you fail is still there, no matter what. So feeling like that, and then, you know, on Tiara's side, you've made your choice, you've chosen your man over your friend, whatever, but he's still doing that. You gotta feel like a fool, you know. That's why she's driven to this crazy breaking point when he decides to leave. So I honestly just think those are just all real emotions, and as females, as women, we've all felt that at some point.
People, that's why I'm like, the book really, you cover, it's not just drama, it's a lot of learning aspects in this too, you know. So it's but now let's talk about Kenya, because she is one of the main and strong characters. What I thought was very interesting about Kenya, and I think a lot of pretty girls could relate to this, is Kenya does come off, of course, as confident. She dresses fly, but she's low-key jealous. She's low-key jealous of Tiara, who is described as naturally beautiful, but very plain and basic, or in terms of her wardrobe, dresses very basic. But I do like the fact that Kenya does, towards the end, tells her friend, she doesn't try to hide it, like, yo, I was always seen as the side chick. You graduated, you got married. I appreciated the fact that although she wasn't the best friend, she kept it real with her friend, especially during what she went through. We're not going to talk about what she went through because they got to read it.
I know, right?
But I appreciate the fact that she kept it real with someone she loved.
Right.
No?
Yeah, Kenya, aside from being jealous, she's very insecure.
Yes.
And the era made her even more insecure. She dealt with an insecurity that I think, you know, a lot of dark-skinned women will feel that, especially younger. You know, you think you're pretty, but you know, the other people may not think you're so pretty. Now we not gonna act out like Kenya acted out, but you know, it can happen, and you have those deep-rooted insecurities. And in the sequel, I actually go into more of her insecurities and like where it really comes from. But
I'm just happy you said sequel, because continue.
Yes, we get more of why she is the way she is. But you know, I think that's what so many women, like, they show up in the world as being so confident and just having it together, but deep down, like, it's a lot of pain and a lot of hurt and just not being happy, you know, with themselves. And I wanted to highlight that in every single way I could